I had an experience that proves there is an afterlife to me personally. I had an aunt and an uncle that I loved dearly. They had a son named Ray, and unfortunately, at a young age, he needed a surgery to stay alive. In those days, they didn't have the type of equipment and knowledge that they do now. He passed away during the surgery. I never even got to meet him. I was born a few years later. When I was 9 years old, my uncle had a heart attack and he also passed away. It had a big impact on me. I would lay in bed at night thinking, I am going to die one day. It scared me to the core. The fear of death became a crippling part of my existence, and it was still with me all the way until age 28. Then my aunt became very ill with cancer. I took my mom to the hospital to see her. I had never before seen someone between life and death, and I can tell you it didn't help my fear of death any. In fact, it stirred up the anxiety even more. That very night I went to sleep, and I had what could only be called a vision. This was no dream, and I know it with all of my heart and soul it wasn't a dream. I was walking through a meadow, and ahead was a beautiful valley. All I could see was beautiful, vivid colors and flowers of every kind, and even colors that I've never seen before. There were beautiful, crystal clear waterways and a pathway leading up to a hill. I felt so much peace and serenity. I could feel the light inside of my soul. It was simply the most beautiful feeling of love and peace I have ever felt. Then I saw two silhouettes up on the hill. It was my uncle, and somehow I just knew that the other person that was with him was his son Ray that had died before I was even born. I was thinking to myself, I never want to leave. The peace and the beauty is just so extreme. Then I saw a silhouette of a lady, and it was my wonderful aunt. As I walked nearer to them, I saw her happily rejoin with my uncle and her son. I had almost reached them, but a telephone rang and it woke me up. It was my cousin calling to tell me that my Aunt Ruth had just passed away. I haven't been afraid of death since. I know for a fact there is a heaven and a hell. Not only did God give me this vision to comfort me and help me with my fear of death, but He also gave it to me to share. I often wonder what my purpose in this life is, and maybe part of it is to share this vision and some of the miracles that God has performed in my life. If there's anyone that has doubts that there is a heaven or an afterlife, I'm here to tell you that there is. I also know there is a God who loves us very much.